Comedian Bill Maher put himself in the hot seat on his own show after using a racial slur on live television. Maher used the N-word on Real Time with Bill Maher last week. Now, full discretion, his show airs on HBO, which is owned by Time Warner, the parent company of CNN. Last night, Maher apologized on his show, saying, quote, "I did a bad thing." And then he invited his guests to weigh in. I want you to hear what rapper Ice Cube had to say, a very visceral response. Listen.
You know, it's a word that has been used against us. It's like a knife, man. And you can use it as a weapon or you can use it as a tool. It's been used as a weapon against us by white people. And we're not gonna let that happen again by nobody. When I hear my homie say it, it don't feel like venom. When I hear a white person say it, it feel like that knife stabbing me, even if they don't mean it. But I think this is a teachable moment, not just to you, but to the people that's watching right now. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm not
I think the people watching right now are saying that point has been made.
Not by me.
Okay.
You just saw that exchange there. CNN political commentator Symone Sanders was sitting on that panel last night. She joins me now. Symone, you made clear to Bill Maher that you agreed with Ice Cube, and I want to play back a part of your response.
We know you apologized, but in the context, you essentially, by referring to yourself as a house anything, you attempted to whitewash who was really enslaved in the house. You know, as a white person in America, you would have been the master, the slave owner, not someone enslaved in the house. And it was mostly black women who were enslaved in the house, who were raped, who were beaten daily, day in and day out. They endured physical and mental abuse. And so for a lot of people in America, that was like a slap in the face to black America, particularly to black women.
And Symone, how important was it for you to give Bill Maher your 2 cents and to make this a teachable moment?
I thought it was really important for me personally, and I am grateful that the show also thought it was important and gave myself and others space and time to give our remarks. I think that we are living in really polarizing times, and we still have yet to grapple with the issue of race in America. And because of that, whenever the subject comes up, it can be very, very tense. And I know Bill Maher understood he was wrong last week when he used the racial slur. He apologized he apologized after the show last week and again on that stage last night, but it was more than just the word. People in America, especially black people, are dealing with, you know, battling down with the white supremacy and systemic racism. And I thought it was really, really important that we put some context on there, that we brought black women into the conversation, because sometimes we can get left out. So I was glad I was on that stage last night to offer that perspective.
Now, he seemed very uncomfortable during portions of that conversation. Did you get a chance to chat with him about the way that he felt about the whole night off air?
Well, so we took some photos after the show, and of course we did a post-overtime show for the internet. And look, Bill was happy everybody came on. He thanked us all for coming. He thanked us for our perspectives. And I believe he heard us. I mean, if someone was sitting there telling me that, you know, kind of reading me my rights over something that I said, I too might be a little tense. But I am glad we were able to have the conversation. And I hope not only my words, but Ice Cube's words and Dr. Dyson's words really stuck with Bill Maher, and he takes this into, you know, account the next time. He is an ally in this fight. You know, Bill Maher has been on the front lines for a whole lot of things, but even when you're on the front lines, sometimes you have to tap your brothers and sisters in the struggle and let them know when they've crossed the line, and that's what we did last night.
Now, Symone, I have to ask you this. For Bill Maher, it was a teachable moment. There are other comedians out there, not African Americans. Michael Richards comes to mind, Louis C.K., Ricky Gervais, who have said that word, and the consequences have been kind of all over the map. From your estimation, is there a double standard as to who can say that word, even in or out of the context of comedy?
Let me be clear. I do not think the N-word has a place in jokes, in comedy. I do not think white people in America should be using the N-word. And frankly, I don't think black people should be using it either. I think we need to, people have said this, but bury the N-word across the board. And so I really don't think there's a pass for the N-word. There is, the word has been used since the 18th century to be derogatory towards African American people in this country. And if you understand that, you understand why the word has no place in our political discourse, in our comedic discourse. It has no place anywhere.
So what would your approach to someone like Ice Cube be then? He sees it as more of a term of endearment when it's shared with other African Americans, but yet he makes records that are marketed to a mass audience and that may desensitize some people that aren't close to communities of color and make them think it's okay to say that.
Well, again, I think Ice Cube drove the point home yesterday that it is not okay. So if anyone thought he was giving anybody a pass, I think he definitely set the record straight on that. Look, I think there is a conversation to be had in the African American community, and I know there's a debate about, about the N-word, and that is, I think, a separate conversation. But if you are asking me that if the N-word has a place in our mainstream discourse, my answer is absolutely not.
So important to hear these perspectives and to have what often becomes an uncomfortable conversation. Symone Sanders, we thank you so much for your time on This Weekend.
Thank you.
Coming up, states